Well, hello, and how are you doing? I'm, all things considered, doing pretty good. Actually, I'm a little tired. Had a long work day, followed by a couple of heavy duty rainstorms that passed through the city, and had to delay my post dinner walk with the dog for a little bit. But finally did get to take her out, and she enjoyed herself. So, as did I. It's quite warm out still, all things considered. Humidity is very, very high, so I don't mind that one little bit. We did get a big rainstorm, like I said, that blew through the city, and then the sun came out. So, all things being equal, I'll count that as a win. But I am feeling tired. Physically tired, of course, because the last couple of weekends have just been nonstop go, 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 go. And, of course, my average of 14 hours a day working, 12 to 14-hour work days takes its toll on you, as it would anyone. So I'm just, feeling the effects of the allergy season sort of tapering off at this point in time because, quite frankly, although the pollen count is still relatively high, most of the trees that I have the worst allergies for have already done all their pollination, if you will. So I'm not suffering as much as I was. Still minor sinus pressure headaches because chronic sinusitis and prone to migraines, which is never really fun. But alas, what can one do? Just try and survive. Having a Guinness Zero this evening. I don't know if you like Guinness. If you do, and you have a chance to get a Guinness Zero, strongly recommend it. It's very close to the real thing. I'm sure you can hear the fire engine driving up the road. Although I am in a sound isolation booth, I don't have the door closed and I have the windows open, so you will get the effects of living in downtown Canada's capital. There is a fire station just a few blocks from here, and the police station, main police headquarters, actually are just a few blocks from here, so everything is very close by for me. Hey Jay, how you doing? I am, I'm trying to figure out how to discuss a subject that I have to be, by choice, I want to be relatively vague about, I should say. I have discovered recently, I forgot to turn something on. Hang on a second here. There we go. One of the lights didn't turn on. Discovered recently some things about myself that, I've been sort of working on for the last little while. I'd say the last few months. And it had a bit of a moment of self-discovery this past weekend. We'll leave it at that. And it's something I'm still kind of coming to grips with. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world by any stretch of the imagination. There are many worse things that have happened to many more people. It's just something to come to the realization of. That's a little bit difficult, but I am coping with it. I mean, it does have negative effects on me. It's without question, it's affected my life on a daily basis, and I've tried to keep the impact to a minimum. But there are some things you just can't fully control, and all I can do is control how I respond to things around me. Anyway, I've chosen to take this as a teaching moment, as it's taught me a few things, and I'm still learning from it. And I will grow from it, and I will move on from it. But there are some issues that need to be addressed, and I'm not sure quite how to do that yet. That being said, of course, I'm still grasping with the small yet daily anxious struggle of my tenuous work situation. I don't know where I will be come June 17th. My contract is up. It ends technically on the 16th, which is a Sunday, but Friday, the 14th at 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. I should say, is when it will end effectively, because I don't work weekends. So I don't know where I'll be after that, and it's a little distressing. I'm not unemployed. Okay, so let's make that clear. I still have a job. The contract I have is with my employer, so it's not directly with me. So my employer will just find me a new position. But it's sad for me because I really love what I do. I love where I work, and I really enjoy the people I work with. And I look forward to going to work every day. So that I will miss. And I mean, that's something that many of us don't ever get the pleasure of having in our professional lives. And I am very, very, very fortunate to have that. I've had it for 2.5 years now. Now, that's not to say I haven't enjoyed the company of my coworkers that I've worked with in the past. That's not the case. It's just prior to the last 2.5 years, I was doing something that I wasn't hired to do. And I really was not enjoying it because that portion of my career and what I do was supposed to be well behind me. Of course, the pandemic changed everything, as we have all experienced. And in many ways, we're still figuring out the changes that have been made to us from what we experienced. The social isolation created a lot of gaps, I guess you could say, for folks. I know people who literally did not venture outside of their neighborhood for over 2 years. Worked from home 5 days a week, stuck within their neighborhood, and that had a profound effect on their social lives and created a great deal of anxiety when it came to just going out to do something like we used to do in the before times. And I think there's a great deal of people who feel that. Right now there's something going on. I think we're in the third stage of, I don't want to say post-pandemic, but I guess post. Stage 1 was resignation. Stage 2 was quiet quitting, which means you only work the hours you're paid for, which is what I call just going to work. They called it quiet quitting because they deemed it, well, you're not putting in 150%. Well, since I only get paid for 100, why would I give you 150? Pay me for 100, I will give you 100. That's reasonable. Well, now they have the great exhaustion, because so many folks who have been working from home for the last few years have been putting in a lot more hours than normal. Largely because, well, you don't have to commute, so, it's extra time. Like, no, I will work my allotted hours that I am paid for, and that's it. If you want more from me, you need to pay me. Well, not everybody's done that. A lot of people have extended their working hours outside of their paid time frame, and as a result are finding themselves in a state of exhaustion right now. Largely millennials and zillennials, less so for any boomers that are still in the workforce, and most of us Gen Xers are kind of used to that anyway, so it's like, yeah, whatever. 23% of us, I think, say we're exhausted. It's much higher with the younger generations, and I don't have any issues with that. I think we should all admit to the fact that we have worked too damn hard for too damn long and not gotten nearly enough out of it. But I digress. I don't want to get political. Not here, not tonight. This is not about politics. This is about how we try and cope, about how we try and get through, about how we try and lift each other up and push each other forward. Some days we have to carry one another, and that's okay, because that's what community does. We help each other out when we really need it. And I certainly have a community around me. I have a community of wonderful friends and family, kids and cubs, my partner, my doggo. You know, when you have a rough day and you come home and you have this dog going crazy out of her mind, so excited to see you, it does lift your spirits no matter how bad you're feeling. And I don't know if you have ever experienced that. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. I don't know what everybody else's lives are like. But for me, it's been a great uplifting thing to come home every day to this 80-pound, muscle-bound love hound. I don't know where she is right now. She was sitting with me on the couch earlier. But I am trying to come to grips with a few things right now. You know, along with the anxiety that I don't know where I will be working. I'm not out of a job, so there's no financial anxiety in that respect. But it's a new day one with a new group of people that I don't know, having to figure out the new system that I'll have to work within, wherever that may be. And that's anxiety-inducing. You know, right now I walk to work. It's 10 minutes. I work from home 2 days a week. I'm in the office 3 days a week, sometimes 5. It depends on what the schedule calls for, but, you know, it's relatively flexible. I, in all likelihood, will not be able to do that anymore. I might have to work in the office 5 days a week. I don't know. I also don't know where I will be. And that is the thing that is stressful. Where will I be? What will I be doing? I cannot go back to what I was doing prior to this. I simply cannot. I physically can't. The body is just simply too broken, too old. And that's for younger men and women to do what I used to do, that I didn't want to do the last time I had to do it. So you can understand my anxiety there. The great big unknown. And, you know, I'm going to be 56 in July, and I'll have to be starting in a new position, which is, that's anxiety-inducing in and of itself. And I hate to think about it, so I try not to, but it's there. It's looming there. The date is on the calendar. Perhaps things will change and there will be a contract extension or a shuffle of some type. Who knows? I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but as it stands, you know, that date is there on the calendar in the future. That's it. That's the end. And where we go from there, I do not know. So that's what's really weighing heavy on my mind these days, along with a few new discoveries about myself. So, yeah, that's kind of where my head is at right now. I'm not, you know, I mean, look, I'm not suffering horribly. I'm not sick. I'm not ill. I still have a good life, but your struggle is your struggle, and everybody has their own struggle. And right now I have a few that are taking up more headspace than I would care for them to do. I like to be able to dedicate myself to doing the things that I love to do, including my job, and this because I love to do this. But when you're constantly thinking about, you know, where will I be, what will I be doing, that can drive you a little bit out of your head. So, to counter that, I take my deep breathing exercises very seriously. I walk my dog. I spend time with my partner. I have the occasional beer, and I try and watch something that will make me laugh or completely distract me from all of the things that I have to think about on a daily basis. Because distraction sometimes is something that really contributes to my mental health and well-being when I don't have to think about the things I think about. When I can get out of my own head and just be distracted by Star Trek or, I don't know, some silly movie, or just listen to some jazz. Speaking of, I have to record a jazz show very soon. I'm way behind. So yeah, it's that time of the year when ordinarily you're jazzed up and excited about the summer. Can't wait to take your vacation and go where you're going to go. I don't know if I'm going to get one. I don't know if I'm going anywhere. I don't know where I'll be working. And that is, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'd like to say that wasn't the case, but it truly is. I wish I felt more at ease with this. And I am coming around to it in the sense that I can only control what I can control. And I do know there are a lot of people in my corner who are pulling for me. And I'm thankful and grateful for that. I just hope wherever I end up in as positive a place as I am right now. I can only be hopeful. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what tomorrow holds. And that's kind of where my head is at right now. So yeah. Sorry, I hit the wrong mute button there. I didn't mean to cough in your ear like that. My apologies. So yeah, I've got quite a few projects on the go, as you can well imagine. We've got our mental health walk coming up, which I thought I should discuss on this program as well. It's going to take place on June 15th in Canada's capital, Ottawa. At 12 p.m. we're going to start the walk, so we'll meet at around 11:30. We'll start the walk at around 12. It's a 5-kilometer walk, and we're going to end at the pub where we will have a live stream afterwards, a live pubcast. We're going to start to show off alcohol-free in respect to one of the individuals joining us who no longer consumes alcohol, which is, that's fine. I'm going to be drinking Guinness Zero because I like it. So this is the first of what we hope will be an annual mental health walk. And it's capital MENTAL, lowercase, capital H, capital E, health. Mental health walk. 5K walk. And the idea behind it is to raise awareness, to let people know that only 30% of men in Canada who suffer from mental health issues, only 30% of us use any type of treatment, medication, consultation, therapy, what have you. And that the, how do I say this? The rate of self-harm, and we'll leave it at that, amongst men is considerably higher than it is for women, because so many men feel like they have nobody to talk to. And not to mention the fact that so many men feel like they can't talk about their mental health and what they're going through. So our idea, and it's not an original idea, we got this from our friend Pete in Melbourne, Australia, who did a 25-kilometer walk called Spoke with a Bloke. And that was founded because of a friend who they thought was on top of the world. He took his own life. As it turned out, he was suffering horribly from depression and never spoke to anybody about it. So the idea is to raise awareness about the amount of men that suffer from mental health issues and have absolutely no outlet whatsoever, and how we would much rather you talk to us about it. There was a UFC fighter a couple of years ago whose name I don't recall, but He won the match, and then when he was being interviewed, he says, my friend last week took his own life. And I wish he would have spoken to me, because I would much rather have him cry on my shoulder than me be crying at his funeral. I know that's heavy stuff, but these are heavy topics that need to be discussed. And this is the whole reason for the mental health walk, to raise awareness, so we don't have to cry at people's funerals, and they can cry on our shoulder. So if you're in town, if you're in Canada's capital on June 15th this year, it's only a few weeks away, and you'd like to meet with us, you can send me a message, and I will give you the coordinates. We are also promoting this on the morning show, and anybody who wants to join us, we would absolutely love for you to come out. We're looking at trying to raise funds for men's mental health initiatives in Ottawa. We are not a registered charity. We hope to be set up for that next year. We just came up with this idea 6 weeks ago, and it was after Pete mentioned it to us, and I said, let's do it. So we put this together as quickly as we could. So it's not going to be a big fundraiser this year. This year is just an awareness. Next year will be the year we can raise some funds, although we might be able to raise a few bucks this year. We'll see what we can do. We're still working out a few details here and there. But if you happen to be in Ottawa on that weekend, we'd love to have you come and join us for, maybe just a few hundred meters. You don't have to take the whole 5K. We'll have some friends. We'll have some people who are going to lend a hand and lend their voices so that we can help to change things for the better. Okay. I hope you're feeling better than when we started. I'm feeling a little bit better than when I started. I find whenever I have a chance to openly discuss it, and sometimes I can be vague about it, but I can put myself at ease because I'm talking about some of the things I'm going through. And although I know I can see people in the chat, and I know there's some people that watch this afterwards, it's somewhat therapeutic to be able to just talk to the camera because you're not being judged. You're not, and it's not that anybody judges you, but you don't feel like you're being judged. And I think that's the beauty of this medium. Not anonymous, but there's an anonymity to it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I've just been around for a few years and have experienced a couple of things. And I come here to talk to you about it and share with you so that in the hopes that you can benefit from it. And on that note, I am going to bid you adieu. I know it's a short one this evening, but I'm kind of running out of things to say, and my sinus headache is getting worse by the second because these lights are very bright. So you take care, and I will see you soon. Alrighty? Let me just I'm just trying to find the link that I have to click on. I can't find it. I'm so tired right now. Oh, there it is. I found it. Just one second. Yeah, Bridget was just asking me if people could join the walk virtually. I'm like, yes, of course. We'll stream that. We'll stream the walk. We'll record some stuff. We'll stream some stuff. So absolutely, we'll have a link put up for all of that as well in the near future. Anyway, I'm going to bid you adieu. I'll see you later.